Late March, our planet is approaching an equinox. At this point in Earth's annual circuit of the sun, it's spring in the northern hemisphere and autumn in the south. From this seasonal perspective, we're looking out from our own galaxy to those that lie beyond. The world over, our heavenly vista is of the same duration. For at the equinox, day and night are equal. We look towards the constellation of Virgo and a galactic jet. And in another direction, the enigma of Eta Carina, a prospective supernova. Objects in the sky are identified by number. This is M100, Messier 100, or in the new general catalogue, NGC 4321. In the late 18th century, it was the French astronomer Charles Messier, a comet hunter, who first catalogued by number. Messier 1 was the Crab Nebula. Messier 31, M31, the great galaxy of Andromeda. M42, the Orion Nebula. 110 fuzzy objects have a Messier number. Armed with our catalogue, we explore the spring sky. We're in the north, looking north. The constellations from the mid-latitudes. Top right in Draco, the star Thuban. Thuban was the pole star of the ancient Egyptians. Today, Polaris is the pole star. In the future, this will be the pole star, brilliant Vega. Over millennia, the pole of the sky shifts roughly within this circle. From Polaris today, the axis of the Earth will tilt to point at Vega. It's caused by a 26,000-year wobble in the spin of the globe. Towards the horizon, in the constellation of Perseus, the demon star Algol. Algol appears to wink every couple of days. That's because it's an eclipsing binary, dull when one star is in front of the other, bright when they separate. Still in Perseus, it was here in 1901 that a star exploded, a nova. This was the culprit, a binary, the smaller partner feeding on material from the larger. The result, chronic indigestion and a nuclear convulsion. After another build-up, there'll be another nova. Unlike a supernova, which is once and for all. The northern sky looking south. Leo the lion. Boötes the herdsman. Corona Borealis, the northern crown. Libra the scales. Corvus the crow. Hydra the water snake. And Virgo the virgin. In Leo, the cross beneath the lion's head is a radiant from which meteors appear, but only in November. It's then that the orbit of Earth passes through a trail of debris left by a comet. The result is a shower of meteors. In Leo's case, they're called the Leonids, but it'll be 1999 before the next really big display. The whole region of Leo and Virgo abounds with galaxies, thousands of them, misty blurs in small telescopes. This one, M87, is a gigantic sphere, probably an amalgamation of several ancient galaxies. Through the Hubble Space Telescope, a great jet emanates from the galactic center. In animation now, it's surmised that the jet is being shot from a huge black hole. At the same time, material is spinning into this ultimate gravitational trap. M87 lies between Leo and Virgo and is good in binoculars. So too, further down, is another bright galaxy. M104, the Sombrero. Here, through a big telescope, a band of dust girdles the equatorial plane. From Virgo, still lower in the sky, to Corvus. This is the home of the Ring-Tail Galaxy. In fact, two galaxies in collision. Their gravitational interaction has strewn great chains of stars across the cosmos. The sights of spring in the north. Now, from the southern hemisphere looking north, the constellations of autumn. They're largely the inverse patterns of the north. Bottom right, in Boötes, the great star Arcturus. A giant, 25 times the diameter of the sun, the fourth brightest star in the sky, and 37 light years from Earth. With the Milky Way straddling the sky, we're now looking south in autumn. The constellations from the southern hemisphere. Top center, in the constellation of Carina, the great nebula of Eta Carina. It's just visible to the naked eye in a dazzling part of the Milky Way. At the very heart of the nebula, the most brilliant star is Eta Carina itself. Last century, Eta Carina was one of the brightest stars. Today, it seems to be hidden behind a shell of dust. Astronomers think this is a precursor to a supernova, the explosive death of a stellar giant. Down to the painter's easel and Beta Pictoris. An interesting star with a disk of dust, here in red and yellow. The star is bright enough for binoculars. Towards the center now, and to the biggest of our two satellite galaxies, the Large Magellanic Cloud. Shaped like a bar, it's a mini-galaxy with just 1/10 the star population of the Milky Way. In the left-hand side of the cloud is the Tarantula Nebula, bright enough for the unaided eye. To the right of the nebula, a star blew up and died in 1987, the closest supernova in 300 years. Before it went bang, it puffed out a ring, a picture from Hubble. And this remarkable shot following the explosion. Concentric rings of light racing through space from the seat of the cataclysm. Upwards now to Crux, the Southern Cross. Here is the Jewel Box, a cluster of brilliant young supergiants. Finally, down a little from the Jewel Box. This is the Coal Sack, not a hole in space, but the best-known dark nebula, and visible by naked eye. A brief tour of the heavens, a guide which has only hinted at the enjoyment to be had through telescope, binoculars, and by just looking at the sky.